Tippy time, my damies, Topcat here and welcome back to the channel. And today's strand build is called the Slice and Dice. This melee is 15 times stronger than standard. We use 5 charge melees to ramp up our damage from 20,000 to 315k. And with an easy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 combo, all will fall before the brawl. I've made this build to push out our damage for our fists, glaives and shotguns. If you enjoy this video, a like is appreciated. I'll make sure to leave a dim in the description below. And if you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment down below. With all that said, let's get into the video, and our exotic of choice is going to be the Wormgod's Caress. Its trait, Burning Fists. Melee kills increase melee damage for 5 seconds. Additional kills extend this duration and increase its effects. And this maxes out at 5 stacks. Our standard melee uncharged starts at 9,100 and ramps up to 24,000 on minors. A standard grapple melee starts at 24,000 and ramps up to 93,000. A frenzied blade melee starts at 20,000. We can stack this with other perks like 1-2 punch and tracked cannons and things, and this will ramp all the way up to 315,000. So with an ideal situation, we want our 5th attack to be the Frenzied Blade. The cycle begins with a grapple melee, followed by 2 Frenzied Blade melees. We want to be collecting all the orbs produced to acquire another grapple melee, then finish up with the Frenzied melee for some big number damage. The Frenzied Blade will apply Sever to any targets it does not destroy. Sever restricts the foe's outgoing damage, allowing us to stand and fight that little bit longer. Now there are several types of weapons that work particularly well with this build. The Eclectic Distaff is one of them. It's void so we can utilize Volatile Flow, but it's the trait close to melee that gives your glaives 30% extra melee damage after a projectile kill. This lasts for 10 seconds and will refresh on each melee kill. The Kalgroth also has this, and this also does stack with our Wormgod's Caress. So in reality, this makes all our foes drop like they are little old red bars. So you get to work yourself through waves of miners and then wail on the big boy for 5 seconds of fury before he crumbles to the ground. I'd highly recommend the Wastelander M5, and despite recent nerfs to the 1-2 punch, this is a mainstay on my Titan. It still awards you double melee damage, and you'll find you use half as much ammo when you slap down twice as hard. Now because the Wormgods give you a 5-second window to get that kill to increase its strength, a weapon like this is vital as it's not always miners standing in front of you. Sometimes you need to drop that slightly larger target to keep the ball rolling. It's still a really strong perk. Even if you've only got the 1 melee charge to spare, this shotty will help drop foes even when you're under light. I also like to run mine with Pugilist Enhanced. Each shotgun kill awards you about 22% of your melee energy back. It's not required, but it definitely helps to keep you slicing and dicing. The Tractor Cannon is a sound option. This still applies 30% weaken effect for 10 seconds. And even with just a basic combo, it still does really decent damage. But when we apply this to our 5-prong attack, they will be absolutely destroyed. You begin with a grapple punch, melee, melee, tractor, grapple punch, 1-2, and then they are gone burgers. The Tractor Cannon is also a really solid way of dropping the most annoying of champs, the Overload Minotaurs, with ease. Now lastly and quickly, I wanted to also show you the Ostinato, as it can roll with Well-Rounded and Trench Barrel. This is a melee heavy build, and with Trench Barrel, after a successful melee hit, it gains increases to damage, handling and reload. It's a massive 50% damage bonus for 3 shots, slice again and then continue to shoot again. Being a void weapon, we can also stack this together with Volatile Flow as well. Trench Barrel can activate on uncharged melees, our Frenzied Blade, and most enjoyable of all is the Grapple Melee. The thing I love about the Grapple Melee is the swarms of Unravel it creates. You just need to hit one target with this attack. When they die, it creates a swarm. That swarm kills and creates a larger swarm, until there's nothing left on the battlefield except for you and your thoughts. And whilst the Grapple Melee isn't quite as strong as a Frenzied Blade, we can still stack this up high, and with the Wormgods it can create 242,000 damage. In this game, your enemies often don't stand in a line waiting for you to kill them, so in order to ramp up with the Wormgods, you'll need to move around the battlefield. We've got a pretty high uptime with this build, so we can use it to skate around and get you that kill quicker to stay inside that 5-second kill window. The into the fray aspect, while standard, is of a particular importance to us, as when we cast our super we are granted Woven Mail. Now the damage resistance this affords us is excellent, but it's the increase to melee regeneration whilst we have Woven Mail that I love. In under 20 seconds it's afforded me all 3 of my melee charges. Thread of Warding is going to bypass the need for us to pop our super, to instead every time we pick up an Orb of Power we'll get Woven Mail for 10 seconds. Thread of Fury, damaging targets with a tangle, grants us melee energy. Thread of Generation, when dealing damage of any type or source will generate grenade energy. We need this to put our 2 grapple melees into our 5-stage Wormgod assault. Now Thread of Ascent is a nice to have, so if you have another fragment you would like, this is a free swap. For me however, I like Ascent. Activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon and grants you bonuses to airborne effectiveness and handling for a short duration. Now the mods might shock you a little, but this melee build actually relies on a grenade kickstarter, not a melee kickstarter. We feed these with a firepower mod and with a heavy-handed mod. Having both of these together gives us 2 orbs of power for every grapple melee kill we get. This build wasn't quite working with melee kickstarters. Even when I tried it double stack, the timing and flow just felt forced. However, by adding the grenade kickstarter and more grapple melees into the combo, it increased the ease of the assault and left me with 1 melee charge that I could use to Frenzy Blade with the 1-2 punch. To help me make more orbs, we've also got both Reaper on our butt flap and Void Siphon on our helmet. Now whatever your weapon loadout ends up being, that's the siphon you're going to want to use on it. All of the orbs we create feed our Kickstarter and our Woven Mail. But by equipping both 2 innovation mods and 1 better already mod, we can gain an easy way to heal ourselves and push that grenade cooldown even higher, to give us our grapple melee back in 10 seconds flat, which coincidentally happens to be our tangle cooldown to help give us those free grapples. Double Outreach reduces melee cooldown when using our class ability. We're going to finish it off with double stack concussives and double stack special ammo finders. This build is brawling at its best, and with a damage that deals 15 times its original damage, it is an absolute powerhouse. Bungie wanted Strand to be all about actions per minute, and this build is exactly that, allowing for mega slap fights, stick fights, and pallet fights. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs. I'll make sure to leave a dim in the description. If you've got any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, tippy time my damies, what a tie.